What's up everybody, this is KG. Today's video is about the 5 positives of failing. So to begin this video, nobody in life likes to fail. Everybody wants to be successful, but the hard cold fact is that we will all fail at something in life, and a lot of us will fail many times attempting to achieve success. So it is something we have to learn to embrace and make part of our regular life and not be discouraged by failure. So the first positive thing about failure is that you've taken action in life. It means you're not sitting on your butt, you've gotten up and you've tried to do something. This could also mean facing your fears. A lot of times we refuse to take action due to the fear of failure. So therefore, facing our fears is one positive aspect that comes out of failure. And you've also got to remember what's even worse than failure is not trying at all. So whether you succeed or fail at something, you should still be giving yourself a pat on the back right away for facing your fears. For many people, that is a hard obstacle to overcome, so give yourself a pat on the back just for doing that. The second positive that comes out of failure is that you're actually getting some life experience. By getting up and taking action and doing something, you may have failed at whatever you're trying to do, but at least you now know what you are capable of and where you stand in life. You've got to remember that in order to succeed, you have to take chances, you have to take risks in life, and they do not always end in success right away. Sometimes you have to go through many failures in order to achieve success. So the only way to get to the point of success is putting yourself out there and experiencing failures along the way. So the next thing you got to remember is how you interpret failing in your life. There's positive ways and negative ways to interpret failure. If you look at some historical records, you can see that
Thomas Edison, for example,
look at his failures for making the light bulb, not as a failure, but as a way not to make a light bulb. So the many times he tried to make that light bulb, instead of calling it a failure, he just said, these are steps that I have taken to achieve the final product of making the light bulb. So many times the way you look at failure, it could be looked at as failure or as steps towards success. The third positive about failing is you can use those experiences to learn lessons and improve for the future. So instead of calling it failure, you call it learning. So a good life lesson is a baby falling down as it learns to walk. A baby falls down over and over and over, but it doesn't stop. It keeps getting up, trying over and over and over. So that could be a good example there. Is it failing at walking or learning to walk? So if you look at it as learning, it is no longer called a failure. It's a process towards an end goal. Even the famous basketball player Michael Jordan had a TV commercial where he talked about his failures. And he said his failures are what made him successful. So even the most successful people in life have to go through their struggles and they have to go through failure in order to achieve success. Now the fourth positive of failure is that you can use the lessons that you've learned to improve towards the future. So instead of giving up, if you actually take the lessons and you say, hey, why did I fail at this? Why didn't I achieve success at this particular time? And you can take those notes and use them to find new creative ideas or find a different direction to go towards in the future. Therefore, you may not repeat the same things you did the first time when you failed. And who knows, by doing something differently, you may find success down the road. So again, it's like a trial and error. So that only happens through failure or what you may call learning. This also gives you a chance to assess your strengths and your weaknesses. And at the end of the day, it helps you grow as an individual. And finally, the fifth positive of failure is it gives you an opportunity to appreciate when you do finally achieve success. Now, if we all just achieve success on our first attempt, we wouldn't really get a chance to appreciate it. When there's no struggle, you do not appreciate things the same way as when you do struggle to achieve them. It's just like being handed something or having to figure out how to get to that point where you can buy it for yourself or achieve it for yourself. So that same feeling of satisfaction would not be there if you did not have to go through those struggles or through that growing pains or through the learning process. And usually by going through struggles, through failures in life, you get to figure out who your friends are, who you can trust, what does and does not work for you. Even if you're dating, for example, you will learn through failures in previous relationships what is right for you in a current relationship or even in your life for a long-term partner. So even by going through a relationship, you learn more about yourself and about other people and what's right for you in your life. Maybe about your morals, your values, and what you expect out of your own life. And sometimes you have to go through those hard times in order to know that for your own self. So a personal experience that happened to me that helps me appreciate a certain situation in my life now is to do with weight. When I was younger, I always used to brag about being in shape and being healthy and never getting fat. I told myself, I'm never going to get fat in my life, I'm never going to get out of shape. And of course, I learned the hard way after I started working at one point, and I put on maybe 25 to 30 pounds within a couple of months, and I was quite overweight at that time. So you can consider that a failure at staying in shape or a chance for a lesson to be learned. So the lesson I took from there is that now that I was working, I didn't have as much time to play sports, go to the gym, so I had to learn to rework my dieting. So I had to eat less food because I was burning less calories. Because I love to eat, it was very difficult for me to incorporate it into my lifestyle, but I had to do it. And after that, I also started getting back into the gym again and getting my weight back down to a reasonable level. So that could be seen as a failure or learning life lessons and improving from there. At the end of the day, when I did bring my weight back down to a decent level, it was the first time I could compare being overweight to being slim as well. And I did appreciate it more because I could feel the difference. The flexibility in my body was back. I could feel even less stress on my heart when my heart was beating. So I had something to compare to now. In the past, I wouldn't have had that comparison, so I didn't really know. I couldn't empathize with someone being overweight as much as I could at this point in my life because I've experienced it for myself. So when you go through life experiences and life struggles, you do get empathy towards other people, and you even have a comparison. So there's a whole bunch of positive things that can come out of failing at something in life. So hopefully this gives you a positive way of looking at failure. And I personally do not consider it failure. I consider it learning, and I consider it life lessons. And it is a part of your journey and a part of your growth in life. Thanks for watching. Leave any comments below, and we'll see you guys again next time. Take care. Peace out.